In the news business, there's a very fine line between covering the news, reporting the news, and making the news. And you want to avoid crossing that fine and important line. However, in 1992, I was a hard-charging investigative reporter at the Brownsville Herald in Brownsville on the very southern tip of Texas. And I was covering federal agencies and federal courts, and I was having a blast. I mean, there were these wars going on between rival drug gangs, and there were these huge trials, and there was also intense, scary rivalries between infighting groups known as the DEA and the FBI and the CIA. Some of those stories I didn't even tell. But after one particularly headline-grabbing trial, I was sitting on my desk in the morning and opening my mail, and there was a nice little brown envelope there, and I thought nothing of it, and I opened it, and it was a tongue. The place was in an uproar. People were totally freaked out. Somebody called the police, and people were trying to figure out what to do, and people were really scared. My poor Colombian husband, you can hardly imagine anyone being more distraught than a Colombian who has really seen the dark side. So, but the publisher of the newspaper took control. He said, "We're not crossing this line. We are a news gathering and news reporting organization, and this threat, this attack is not news." Well, this created a terrible problem. This was a huge story. The police were already reporting it. It was flashing around the news. But we were told this was not news, no comment. So I tried to respect that. I just slipped a couple of quotes to a couple of my best reporter friends. But what I didn't say was anything gallant about always defending the freedom of the press. I did think that, and the weird thing was the next day, the Mexican newspapers quoted me saying that. All I said was something about how usually the angry threats come by telephone, and the mail is usually the nice thank you letters. So this news is flashing around the world. I get a call from a friend who says, "Becky, when I heard on CNN that a Brownsville reporter got a tongue in the mail, I knew it was you." So there was a really difficult situation, and our editor insisted, the publisher, we are staying on the side of reporting the news. This is not news. And looking back on that, that was really wrong. Back then, we should have been transparent and honest about this attack on the freedom of the press. And now, we should be transparent and honest when there's an attack on the freedom of the press. Thank you.